about a month ago, you had a situation whereby herdsmen and ice swap warriors, as some would call them, went into a church in Owo and killed no less than 50 people. Next event, about a week later, that's 3 weeks ago, you had a situation where ice swap warriors, bandits they call them in some parts, attacked and killed no less than 90 people in Zamfara state. Next event, not too long after that, approximately 1 week or so ago, just over a week ago in Niger State, ice swap warriors attacked a community in Niger State and killed no less than 45 people, 30 of them soldiers. And finally, just a few days ago, ice swap warriors attacked Kuje prison and bombed their way in, freeing no less than 600 people, 300 of whom were recovered later and found. And of the 300, according to the Ministry of Defense, over 60 of them were Boko Haram fighters. As a matter of fact, every single Boko Haram fighter in that facility was freed and has not been found ever since. I know that facility very well. It was built by the British. I was locked up there for some time, and it really is quite an extraordinary place. It's actually hidden. They targeted that facility and freed their fellow terrorists. Now, the most disturbing thing about this is that there's clearly an orchestration behind the whole thing. 1 month, all these events, and countless others long before then. The interesting thing is that when it came to the Kuje prison attack, the DSS informed the military about precisely what was going to happen and told the military where those boys were, and nothing was done about it. The military ignored these warnings. Where those boys were hiding, they were left alone, they were not rooted out, and they carried out their operation with immense precision. Worst of all is the fact that the soldiers that were actually posted in that area were withdrawn 24 hours before this event took place. And these boys operated for no less than 3 hours, bombing, killing, maiming, and pulling down walls and freeing their colleagues. Again, there's an orchestration going on. It gets worse. About 3 months or so ago, we had the attack on the train to Kaduna. Again, I can authoritatively tell you that the DSS informed the Nigerian military that this was going to happen and asked them to deploy to man those areas and flush out those boys from the forest. Again, the military said no. And the question that needs to be answered is, why is it that the military refused to do their duty? Why is it that they don't do anything? In the case of Niger State, when those people were killed, when those people and those soldiers were killed in Niger State, nothing was done. The military offered no response after their own soldiers had been murdered, after their own soldiers had been slaughtered in this way. So what's going on in Nigeria? Well, in my view, like I said earlier, there is an orchestration. I think it has an international dimension. Most of these fighters are actually non-Nigerians. Most of these people come from outside Nigeria. They're very well armed as our military, if not better. They're very courageous, they're highly motivated, and they're very, very brave. So we need to find out precisely who is behind all this, what is happening, and what's the objective. My view is that the objective is to ensure that we have chaos in this country. Chaos, then comes the order. Out of chaos comes order. That's their motto. And what they're trying to do is destabilize the country, terminate the democracy, ensure there's a military coup, and the installation of an interim national government. Is this acceptable? Of course it's not. Nobody wants that. But some deluded individuals clearly are up to no good. And I think that given the fact that the NIA, that's the Nigerian International Security Agency, that takes care of external intelligence, the DSS, which takes care of internal intelligence, and even the Nigerian police have really done as best as they can. They've done an excellent job, as a matter of fact, in the circumstances. The only security agency that does not seem to be functioning properly is the military. And it's not just the military, it's the military high command. The junior officers, the boys in the field, are dying like flies. They're killing them, and they're giving their lives, sacrificing their lives for Nigeria. But the military high command, in my view, has failed. And I use this opportunity to call on not just the Chief of Army Staff, but all the service chiefs to resign and bury their heads in shame. And I call on the President to change them and bring in new people that can fight this menace and that can restore sanity to our country. There's also another dimension to this. Apart from the fact that they want chaos, they want to justify what it is that they want to do, and they want carnage so that people will say, well, fine, something needs to change and the government needs to go. destabilize the government. Apart from that, there's also another objective, to ensure that the 2023 elections do not hold. Where you have chaos and where you have fighting, you cannot have an election. That is another objective. Now, if the election does hold, what they will do is that either during or after the election, as an aftermath of that, there'll be all kinds of contrived violent acts all over the country, in which the whole thing will then ensure that everything is stopped, the whole thing is destabilized, discredited, and we are back to square one. Somebody and some people from inside and outside Nigeria, international collaborators and their people inside this country, are working towards destabilizing us and destroying us and pulling down this government. And we are all focused on 2023. We've taken our eye off the ball. All we're talking about now is who will win the primary, or who will win the presidential election in 2023, or who won the primaries a few weeks back, and which party we support, which candidate we support, whether it is Atiku, whether it's Bola Tinubu, whether it is Peter Obi or Kwakwanso or whoever or whatever. That's what we're talking about. We've taken our eye off the ball. Meanwhile, our country is burning, our soldiers are being slaughtered, our policemen, our DSS agents and NIA agents are being killed in the field, and our government has not done anything about it. We need to do a lot more. This government and this country presently are targets and victims of a well-orchestrated conspiracy to destroy us and humiliate us and bring us to our knees and create chaos in our country. And I believe strongly the globalists that are responsible for Ukraine are the ones that are responsible for this as well. We need to be careful. We need to pray. We need to work it out. And the government and the president have to sit up, open their eyes, smell coffee, grab the bull by the horns and do something. The military has failed. The president needs to remove the military hierarchy. The president needs to grip this matter and act with strength and with power. I suspect strongly that he really does not even know what is going on.